Hello there, welcome to New Beginnings, my everyday life in rural Cyprus. I'm laughing. I'll get into why I'm laughing in a minute. I've got so much to get through today. So let's start as always. I normally say how I'm feeling, but I feel that I'm going to be telling you a lot of things today. I've got more medical catch-ups. A new thing has transpired completely, and I will share that with you as well. I can't stop laughing because if I don't laugh, I will cry. I have so much to tell you today. But first, instead of how am I feeling, I'm asking you, how are you feeling? Let me know in the comments. So let me know in the comments how you're feeling today. And in the house we have so far today, we have Glitterworld. And you know what I'm going to do now, don't you? Because we have someone in the house, I always ask you to check out their channel. So do go and check out Glitterworld. She is absolutely awesome. And also, may I remind you that if you want to start StreamYard and paying for things within StreamYard, then before you start paying, use my discount code that's linked below this video. If you use the discount code in the description, you will get $10 or the equivalent credit when spending $25 on StreamYard. So that's something not to be missed. So do check that out, the discount code below. I feel like my channel name is too high. I'm stretching. I've actually got a new layout because I've normally got my notes and what to press on the keyboard, which is great. But then when I need to chat, I'm like, oh, I've got to move everything off the keyboard. So I've just gone and got, I don't want to lift it up because I've just got it all set on there again, my little tray that I bought for when I'm sitting on the sofa doing cross stitch. I'm now using that. So that's a good thing about playing clips. Not only was I commenting, I also ran off and got that as well. So that's great. Okay, let's go on to the next thing that we normally do, which is this. This is the book I'm going to start reading now. I haven't started reading it at all. It's called Olivia Dawes. Who knows? What do you make of that? Dawes, Jules. Who knows what letter that represents? Anyway, it's that and the overactive imagination. This book, it says, is from the creator of Bridget Jones, and it's by Helen Fielding. There's something wrong with writing titles that you can't really read very well. Doesn't help. Same as when you watch films on TV, sometimes the credits are so small, or even if, let's say, they do subtitles or something, or show you something, it's written so small and tiny, you need to be able to read credits and subtitles. Just a little thing there. So I haven't started reading it yet. It basically says, enter Olivia, Jules, it's got it on the back, Olivia Jules, fearless, dazzling, independent beauty journalist turned master spy. Sounds like it might be a bit cheesy, this book. A new heroine for the 21st century. In Miami for a face cream launch, she spots a man across the room, dangerously charismatic and gorgeous, with impeccable taste, unimaginable wealth, and exotic international homes. He seems almost too good to be true. But what if he's actually a major terrorist bent on destruction, hiding behind a smokescreen of fine wines, yachts, and actresses / models? Or is it all just a product of Olivia's overactive imagination? From the white heat of Miami to the implants of LA, the glittering waters of the Caribbean to the deserts of Arabia, Olivia pits herself against the forces of terror, armed with a hat pin, razor-sharp wit, and very special underwired bra. Helen Fielding has written a contemporary and utterly unputdownable thriller deluxe. Let's see, I'm thinking it might be a bit cheesy, a little bit corny. Hey, it might be really funny. So I do like Bridget Jones, but then that's visual, a lot of that as well. So I've not actually read Bridget Jones, so I don't know. But we'll see. I will keep you updated on that as we go along. On to the next thing I normally update you on. If you've been keeping up with my lives, you will have seen that I finished the apron. There is a video out coming up on my other channel, because all my craft stuff is on my other channel, Tranquility Through Life's Natural Beauty. So there's a video of my gardening apron cross stitch from start to finish on there. So if you missed that, have a look at that. And I have since been doing, as you may know if you've watched the last few lives, finishing off my cross stitch garden, and it's finished. Yes, it's finished. Again, I'm going to edit from start to finish as a complete video so you can follow through, and that again is on Tranquility Through Life's Natural Beauty channel. And here's the finished article. So what do you think of that? The bit you probably didn't see if you saw the last episode, I had finished the path, and then I did a bee, I did the fence behind, I did the butterfly, I did some detailing on the birdhouse, and I did another bee. So they're the additional things since you last saw the video. What do you think? I'm not sure where I'm going to put this yet, probably somewhere in this room. I'm not going to say it yet again, but I can't put things on my wall. Oh dear, that's been a long time. Keep talking about that. So just know I can't put things on my wall. So I might just stand it somewhere. It's only a cardboard frame, so yes. And now you'll see why I made it a funny shape when I was doing the cross stitch. So now you understand. So that's an update on my latest cross stitch. What am I going to do next? Well, definitely a cross stitch, and I'm going to complete something else that I'd started and hadn't finished, because I suddenly get inspired by a new idea or a new project, such as the garden apron suddenly overran everything else, so I could use that. And do look out for me wearing that in some gardening videos in the future. So the next thing I'm going to do is something I haven't finished, and you'll have to wait till next Wednesday live to see what it is I'm doing. So that would be fun. So let's move on to what else I update you on. This is all updates on a Wednesday. So if you want updates, Wednesday on this channel and Friday on my other channel for updates there. If you want to keep updated with everything, as in my personal things in my life, then you have to watch both, because I'm now updating you each time I do a live. So do look at both channel lives to keep right in the loop. So here's the next update that we're going to do. Little clips. I do love making them so much. I really do. I've got hundreds now down the side. So I'm not going to do any more for now, not for the time being. So garden update. Well, obviously with my backward and forward treatments and appointments and other things we've been doing, which I will fill you in on, not a lot's been going on in the garden apart from watering. We still have so much heat. It's now 6:15 at night and it's still incredibly hot. I've got the fan going here. You can probably see from the curtains behind. I have tried to sort of not tie them down, but put wire across, fishing wire, so you can't see it, to try and hold them a bit more in place. The only other thing I've really done is I planted potatoes. So that took all of 5 minutes. 43 potatoes. Yes. I need to write that down somewhere. So I've got a reference here now. 43 potatoes, and I've put them all in one place. It's in a great big sack. Like when you get deliveries of sand, those sort of big white sacks. And might put around a lot of them, he's building frames, so they're like raised beds, because you know how big they are. That one doesn't have anything around it for now, hence why I decided to use that for the potatoes, and they are all in there. So that should be fun to see if we get anything from there. I have got lots of potato growing videos on this channel. There's a whole series of it, because basically I think it was the year before last, I'm not sure, and I planted so many potatoes in every single way I could think of planting them. So in tubs, in hugelkultur, just in straw, many ways, just straight in the ground, every way you can think of I did. And then I did a video which were ready first, so you know which will be the quickest way perhaps to grow, and also showed you the results of digging them all up and which were the best results. If you want to know which was the best results, hugelkultur beds. That by far was the best way of growing potatoes. So I did a roundup of that, but I did show, that's why it's over several videos, because I showed each way and the results of those as well. So that was an interesting little experiment there. So let's move on to now. I talked last time on this channel about how in Cyprus they don't use boots for breaks and leg foot injuries, and you don't really see plaster cast here, and I went through all the reasons for that. And I did show on my Friday live on my other channel what they use here instead. So if you're interested in that, then do take a look at that. I have been to physio. We're talking about my foot now because I have several things going on medically. So we'll talk about my foot first of all. And then I've got some gruesome news for you. So I went to the first kind of physio. It's for trauma manipulation for my foot. He has found there is 3 areas of deep concern, and I've had many different types of treatment on it. All the sort of things you can think of, like heat treatment and laser. Nearly said razor then. It's not been shaving my foot. Laser and the gel and the I forget the other thing where they rub the thing over, and lots of different things. So I did that on Tuesday, and then tomorrow I have further appointment there, and there's supposed to be 6 altogether, treatments of varying different kinds. And he now says he thought it was just going to be ligament situation, but he now feels that I did have a fracture on the side of my foot by the way it's manifested. And we have Steve and Tina Jewell in the house. So you know what, guys, when somebody new comes in the house, we have to check out their channel. So do go over and check out the channel of Steve and Tina Jewell. So yes, the medical guy, he feels now I did have a fracture on the side of my foot. He says there's deep trauma in 3 places in my foot, and he also thinks there is ligament damage, so he's treated me for that as well. And he's not so concerned with my little toe. Hey, no problem, Steve and Tina. He's not that concerned. I said, when I swim, apart from getting pain on the top of my foot from the pressure of the water, it feels like my little toe's hanging off, like it's going to fall off. It's like flimsy. And I said, is that the ligament through there? And he's not that bothered by that. He feels if he treats the other areas, that ligament problem will be sorted out when he resolves the ligament problem at the top of my foot, like at the top of my foot. So he feels that will be okay then. I said, it feels like a wobbly tooth. You know, when you wiggle a tooth, I can move the toe. I can't totally bend it down, but it doesn't give me pain to do that. So, yes, we have more news on that. I have to keep referring to my board because I'm going to miss something out at the moment. What else? Yes, let's get to the gruesome bit. And I'm going to have to open my phone up because I've got a picture for you. If you're not into gruesome medical things, we're not talking about the foot now. This is something else. This is something else I've now discovered. Let's just say I didn't cough. I just kind of cleared my throat. And this thing, don't listen if you don't like gruesome, this thing projectiled out of my mouth. And I was like, I thought it was like a lump of, let's say, halloumi cheese. Think of a marble shape, marble size, a big marble. It was big, a big marble size. And I said to Mike when he came home, it looked like it was pure white, like I say, halloumi. It wasn't halloumi. I hadn't even eaten halloumi, but that white. And it had all bobbles on. And I said to him, it looked like an alien's brain. So imagine like a picture you see of a brain. Green. It wasn't green. It wasn't slimy. It wasn't like like phlegm or pus. You know, it was solid. It was big and it was solid. Like I say, think more of like coughing up halloumi. It was solid. And it looked like, I'm going to show you a picture of it. It looked like an alien's brain. Absolutely. And I was like, what on earth is that? And I was quite frightened by it because it wasn't, as I say, it wasn't phlegmy or any like liquidy, anything like that. Oh, where's the photo of it? Wait. I'm going to have to actually look it up to show you it now because the photo's not there. Let me type in what I now know it is. Excuse me. And I was like, I was so worried about it. I was like, what on earth does it look like? Is it? Wait a minute. I want to find a picture of it. Right. Oh, picture of it. Here we go. Yes. So show me it then. Show me the pictures. Where's the picture then? There's a picture. No, I want the picture that I found before because it was exactly like it. Anyway, what I found out it was, they said you can have tiny little gritty, like tiny bits of grit, like if you chip a tiny bit of your tooth off like that. Or you can have what I had, which is a great mass. And they actually call them, oh, I had an amazing picture of it. Wait. I can't find the picture of how it looked on, like for me. It was amazing. It was so like perfect of what it looked like. There are pictures here, but these are the smallies. Oh, I had a wonderful picture of it. Oh, how annoying. These are all the little ones that just look like grit. Oh, how annoying is that? I had the picture to show you. So like these are the small ones. Hello, don't look right now. This picture here, hold on, this pink picture. I hate doing it on here because it's all backwards. Right, this pink picture, the pink background, but it was bigger than that. Can you see how it looks brain-like, the bottom one? But it was much bigger than that. As I say, it was the size of a big marble. And they call them tonsil stones. And I've never heard of such a thing before. Never heard of it. Oh, there we go. There's a better one. So the one where my finger is here. Can you see what I mean now? There. It looks like an alien brain. Mine look more brainy than that. And as I say, that is very big. That says there a very large tonsil stone. Now they're saying if you have the little small ones, then that's not an issue. Some people might have them, never know particularly. But if you've got the big one, they say it's a build-up of calcium and basically you should have your tonsils out. Now, funny enough, I've got symptoms that they talk about. If you have a big one, you get symptoms. And it's things like earache. Now, I've had that recently. I thought, oh, perhaps I've caught a cold or something, but I can't lay on my right ear. Coughing or clearing your throat. I'm always clearing my throat, but I thought that was because of my throat situation. Here we go. Largest stones they found this year. On my finger here. Here. Yeah, mine was bigger than that. As I say, a large marble. Has anyone actually heard a doombell? Oh, excellent. You always have the right things to say. Have any of you heard of these? There's a better one. That's a bit more like it. But you see, it's not what you were saying before. It is literally harder. There was a perfect picture of it. It's like, Mike's like, oh, is that your one? I was like, no, that's not my one. But it was perfect, a perfect example of the picture I had. So, yeah, has anyone heard of these things? So now that's yet another thing. Now I'm thinking, is that causing my stomach issues? Oh, I know what else they said about it. That is something you feel like. Now, I keep saying I feel like I've got not an air bubble in my throat, but a more solid bubble. Now, these are actually in your tonsils, like embedded inside your tonsils. And it's hard, it's not hard to swallow, but when you drink, you feel like there's, if you've got a lump of bread caught in your throat, that's how I'm going to say it, like a lump of bread in your throat. And since that, I haven't felt that. So I wonder if that was part of that. Now, has that been causing my stomach problems, that I haven't been able to swallow things down properly, so I'm not digesting? I don't know. I've still got to get I've got a consultation appointment to go and get my scans on my stomach and my gallbladder and anything else that might be an issue. I haven't yet done that, but I do have the paperwork from the doctor to go and do that. But I wanted to get my foot going first to see what days and times that was going to be happening. Most kids my age had their tonsils removed. Mike was saying that he's of that generation where if a child had a sore throat for a couple of times, they whipped your tonsils out. I still have mine, because Mike went, oh, do you still have your tonsils in? I went, yes. Yes. So they may just take them out. They may not. I was trying today to get a torch and looking in the mirror with a torch to see if I could see if there was anything else there. But the more you try and do that, the more your tongue arches like that. And the more I was trying to put my tongue flat, the more it was going. So that's going to be our evening entertainment, that Mike's going to have a look for me and see if he can see anything there. So yeah, that's basically that. So I think that's enough of the medical updates for now. Yes, I think that's enough of the medical updates. Oh dear. So yes, that's the medical updates. So let's move along swiftly. Okay, so I'm looking up at my board because I've got so much to get through today. So did you know, first of all, go and check out my community post on this channel. There's an important bit of information there. It will take you to a video on my other channel that you need to know if you're a YouTuber. They've changed the rulings on strikes, and also if you have adverts running between in your role, in your reel, or whatever you want to call it, depending on what platform you're on. So you know how you can put adverts in your video in between, sort of it cuts and goes into adverts before, after, or during. There's changes in regulations on that, so it's very important. And yes, there's been other things going on related to that on my channel. Yes. So first of all, go look at that. The other things, before I get into that, I use CCleaner. Now I've got two browsers on here because both browsers don't allow everything I need to do. This browser only allows me to do my lives and my microphone works. If I use the other browser, which is my main browser where I've got my Gmails and so on and so forth, I can't do my lives. You would have seen that long time ago if you've been following my channel for a long time. I couldn't work out why the microphone wouldn't work and why I can't go live. Anyway, that's another story. So when I use CCleaner, it actually took down StreamYard just before I was coming on. I'd cleaned my computer and that had gone. I also have to re-sign in to YouTube every time I run the cleaner. Yes. So if you have any of these issues, do let me know. As I say, I can't stick to one browser. I can't find any browser where everything works for me. The microphone was a big thing for me and no one could tell me why that was so. But anyway, that's one thing. Yes, I have had a bit of an issue yesterday, really, mostly. YouTube suddenly sent me over all my channels and Mike's channel telling me my videos had been taken down because I'd broken a policy. Of course, they don't tell you what that policy is. No, all they do is say, go and look at this site, go and look at that, go and look at that, read through this, check this, check. I'm not sitting there reading all that nonsense. Tell me what you think the policy is you've broken. Anyway, long story short, it seems to be, now it's not a music strike. I get those all the time. I only use free to use music. I dispute it and it will get sorted out. I'm just going to read the comment, see if it's just about move over to a Mac. Yeah, I can't use a Mac for various reasons. Yes, so it turned out it was something to do with, even though it's not a music strike, it's nothing to do with being a music strike. It is my videos have been taken down. It seemed to be something to do with one particular piece of music, which was free to use. And trying to sort it all out yesterday. And by the way, when you try and get help, you get sent to, well, have you read this? Have you read that nonsense? So I just tell them, I've got brain damage, I'm disabled. Do you really think I can sit and deal with all that? Just sort it out because I'm not at fault. And if it is something to do with a certain piece of music, they were saying it's corrupted. But it was my fault for putting it in the video, this piece of corrupted music. So I basically said to them, well, how come then you still have this music channel up on YouTube? Surely you take that down rather than taking down my videos. It was several videos, and there's more that have got this bit of music on them that haven't been flagged up yet. And I said also, if it is a piece of music, why is it not a music strike? And also, why was I not given the option of taking that piece of music out? But it sounds like in some way, and these are very old videos, they're not new videos, they're very old. So it sounds like in some ways there was a bug planted in this piece of music and it's only just been activated. That's all I can say. That's all I can come up with. They can't really explain or say why. So today I was talking to YouTube. Yes, I was actually talking to YouTube, and all their answer was, talking to the big bosses, no, your videos are all still up. There's no situation there. Oh, and by the way, I couldn't dispute it because when I went on the dispute page, I know how to do disputes. It's very easy. And when I went on there, it came up as a white blank page and it said review not available. So you couldn't do anything about it anyway. So yes, I was talking to the big bosses at YouTube and basically they said, no, there's nothing wrong. All your videos are still up. They're all completely monetized, the ones that you're talking about, and there is no issue. Don't know what you're talking about. So I said to them, can you please then stop sending me these harassment messages? It is a genuine message from YouTube in case everyone thinks it's some scam going on. it wasn't. It was from them, but now they say, well, we don't know why you got that. We don't understand. So I said, well, I'm going to call it harassment now if you do any more of these, because you keep sending me music strikes. I prove to you I have every right to use it. I go to the companies direct, and I've got statements from all of them when I get flagged to say, no, I can use them, and I'm completely monetarized by using them. And I'm saying I'm getting the same flags all the time, even though I now, in the music credits, I actually put as well the message from whatever companies or channels I'm using the music from to say I have a right to use them, and they're still getting flagged. So you can't win. And do look out, if you ever get that, there's a third-party company going around doing that for channels, and they are flagging up your music, whether it's copyrighted or not. So you share or give all your music to this third party. So now I've stated the name of this company and basically said that I'm going to sue them for harassment if I get any more fake copyright strikes. Now, it does say when you dispute a copyright strike, if you are wrong disputing it, you will get penalties. But if this hawk third party, because they're third party, if they keep disputing, they don't get any penalties because they're not the actual channel. So they can be doing this all the time and there's no penalties. Okay, so let's talk about one more thing which I found very interesting, something I was watching the other day. And you know, when you sign into, I don't know, something on a website, or sign into YouTube sometimes, if you sign into something, they sometimes have a little thing come up to see if you're a robot. It says tick if you're not a robot, those kind of things. And they're called CAPTCHA. They're called CAPTCHA. But they did then change the name to reCAPTCHA. And as I say, these were things to tick if you're not a robot. Now, first of all, the first device they used was, do you remember you used to get like funny writing? It was all squiggly and things like that, or a funny symbol, but it was all weirdy looking, and you had to, or numbers, all in like a code of numbers, but it was all written really weird and warped and broken up numbers, and that was to stop robots being able to read it. And you had to type in what the number was or what the word said. And I don't know if you're like me, but some of them were dead hard to read, and they were really hard. And like the inventors apologized and said, well, obviously robots can't read those. But this item I was reading said that those funny things, only 30% of people could actually read them properly and get them all right. 99% of the robots got them all right. So they decided this wasn't a good route. So then they moved to this tick the box to say you're not a robot, because they don't think a robot can do a tick. Yes, a robot can do a tick. So you may have also seen what they did then was gave you kind of puzzles, and you'd have to move your mouse around. It might say, click on 4 squares that have got a cross in it, or a picture of a street. Move your mouse and click where all the traffic lights are and click on them all. These kind of things where you had to move the mouse around. And some people said, oh, I think I got some wrong. That didn't matter. It turns out that the reason you had to move your mouse and click on certain things was not, are you clicking on the right things? But they said at that point, a robot couldn't move the mouse, not just to click on the right things. A robot can do that, but what a robot would do is move directly in straight lines to things. Whereas I guarantee if you've got your mouse, it might go a little bit weirdie rather than 100% straight from item to item. So it was nothing to do with what you were clicking on, like if you were solving the puzzles or clicking on the right things, click on all the cats in the picture. It was nothing to do with that. It was purely to see how your mouse moved, and then they knew you wasn't a robot. So I found that really interesting. I hope that's something you found very interesting as well. So what else have I got to tell you today? We've been out to a couple of places. I've left a message for Steve and Tina today. They've got a video, and there was a vehicle with a tent on the top. And we've actually been to a show, an outside show, and one of the things there was vehicles with tents attached, but very different vehicles and very different tents. So I will be doing a video on that soon. I've got to edit that, and then you will see those as well. The other thing we've been to, which I think is going up on Friday on this channel, I talked briefly about it in my last live. We went to a paradox museum. Now, don't think museum as in museum. It was interactive, and it's all illusions and just the way you perceive things, what you're seeing, but what's really there. And I got a lot of footage from there. So I hope you enjoy that. Particularly stay watching it to the end, because I've obviously put the better stuff nearer the end. So just different illusions, and me and Mike participated in a lot of them. They were great fun. Mike wasn't sure at first. I said I wanted to go there, and Mike wasn't that sure. And I said, I really want to go. We're going to go. And it was the same place as where this show was. So we did both on the same day, which made the journey into town a lot more realistic to do that. So I said, no, we're going. Anyway, we went in, and I said to the lady, how much is it? And she said 16 euros each. And that's not a price we'd pay to go and look around somewhere at all. And that's very expensive for Cyprus. Most places, castles and museums, well, I say that, most are actually free, but places that you go are normally €2 maximum. I think the castle we last went to was like €2 each. So 16 euros, well, that's very expensive, but I really wanted to go. I love things like that. And so I said to Mike, we're going in, and I actually bought something. I haven't got it here. I have to show you it next time. So I said, yeah, we're going in. And he really enjoyed it as well. So little shop at the end as well. So I will share that. I think I'm posting that on Friday on this channel. So you can see that. It was great fun. And as I say, keep looking right to the end. It got better and better and better. And it turns out I'd recently watched another channel, and they went to Las Vegas. They went there, and they went to a very similar thing. And I just watched that, I think, a week before. And I said to Mike, all of this is exactly the same. Exactly. And there were a few more things in the Cyprus one than what they showed on their video. And I was like, exactly the same. Anyway, when I took a leaflet, I always take leaflets where I go somewhere, and I was reading it through, and there was a website, and I looked on that. It's actually, they've got, I think it's 8 round the world, 8 different ones round the world. And the people here running it were from Miami, most of them. And they actually do a franchise where they tell you what, if you want to open one up, you can be part of the franchise. It tells you the location it has to be in, as in a really busy area, because they want to attract people. They tell you what size the space needs to be to build it all, and lots of other things. They give you all information. So if any of you are looking for an investment possibility, something really different, then I'll give you the info on that if you email me or give me your email, and I'll send you all the information. But if you're looking for something really different, watch my video. It has to be built exactly as they build it. I think they've got their own contractors and whatever, they build it. On it tells you the time of it all being built and ready to run. And yeah, I think that would be a fun investment if you've got money to burn, and another tourist thing. So if you're in an area where tourists will come and want something really different, it's amazing. It really is. So we've got lots of pictures and photos and things there. So that was really cool. What other news? Oh, the other news is we had Workaway supposed to be coming soon. We've got 2 lots coming. The first lot now are not coming. They were the ones that they said, could I wait a couple of weeks before they could confirm, because the lady was a nurse and she couldn't get permission to have a holiday days off because the supervisor was away herself and she won't be back for 2 weeks. So I waited, and then they said yes, they were coming. And then she contacted me a few days later and said, sorry, we can't come now. Our car's not working anymore. Not that they were driving to Cyprus from the Czech Republic, but she said cost of the car, they couldn't afford to now come. So they're not coming. The second lot, as far as I know, from America are still coming. I've still yet to find out which part of America they're coming from. But today we had another offer of a young couple wanted to come. And I said it was okay, apart from the fact the day they want to go, the next day is when the Americans come. Now, that's pretty tight. We like at least a day between. So I've said I can accept that as long as they are happy to like deep clean it perfectly as they find it. And so we just need to change the bedding. Obviously, we're going to check it and everything. But if they're not willing to deep clean it and get it all as we would do it, it'd be a bit tight. And then obviously it depends on their flight time as well. But I said then if they want to pack all their bags and everything, they can put them in another building and then they can deep clean, get all ready. But then they can hang out in the other building or still go out or whatever. So if they come back with a yes for that, then we will still have 2 lots, and they are due to come out on the 28th. So it's pretty tight schedule all round, but they're only coming for a week. But because of my landscaping project, which you may well have seen the video on this channel, because of the landscaping project that I want to do, I could well do with those, because we already had other plans for the Americans, what they can do. So that would be a great bonus. And they say that they want to do woodwork, any woodwork projects. They want to know about solar and living off grid. And she is happy to do gardening, landscaping. So that's perfect. That's absolutely perfect. So that is basically all my news. There was a lot there. I've probably missed things. If you see me looking around, I'm looking at my board just to see if there's anything I've missed. I don't think so. I think, while we're talking about projects, Mike has just put a video up on his channel, Olive Farm Retreat Cyprus. If you're into the projects that we do, a lot of them are on Mike's channel, because if he's doing the main hand of the actual projects, and it's a super duper one, something very different that he's done. So do go and have a look at that and see his latest project, something really different for him, definitely. So I think I'm going to leave it there for today. I'm going to finish with my quotes, if I can find them. I'm going to finish with my quotes for, what day are we on now? For Wednesday. I'm going to finish with my Wednesday quote, and then I will see you possibly tomorrow as a pop-up on my other channel. So pop up on my other channel possibly tomorrow, and then if not, Friday, definitely on my other channel as a set video. So I will see you all next time. Thank you so much for being here. Don't forget to drop some comments below and tell me what you liked hearing about and what you thought was gruesome in today's video. So I'll see you next time. Thanks for your support.